It's Tuesday, August 13. In the headlines, OUR to meet with JPS regarding electricity restoration deadline. In business news, Seprod Limited shareholders are set to receive dividend payments this month. Regionally, Barbados marks International Youth Day. And in sports, Johnny Graves' tenure as Cricket West Indies CEO set to end. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR, is set to meet with the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited, JPS, on Wednesday, following the August 12 expiration of the deadline to provide full restoration of electricity supply to its customers, subject to the inaccessibility issues faced in the areas specified as exceptions. According to the JPS's most recent restoration schedule, which was issued on August 9, 2024, power supply to over 13,000 customers across the island has yet to be restored. In a statement issued on July 31, the OUR issued a directive to JPS to enforce strict compliance with the company's latest schedule for returning electricity supply to customers affected by Hurricane Beryl by August 12. The OUR says it has requested JPS to provide a written report by the end of business day August 13 of the status of compliance with the directive. According to the OUR, failure by JPS to comply with the directive within the time specified could lead to enforcement action pursuant to Section 9 of the Office of Utilities Regulation Act. This section stipulates, quote, any licensee or specified organization which fails to comply with the requirements of a memorandum issued by the office under this section shall be guilty of an offense and liable on summary conviction before a resident magistrate to a fine not exceeding $2 million, end quote. In applying the enforcement provision under Section 9, the OUR's actions are guided by the provisions of the OUR Act and the judicial process. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says those responsible for the brutal massacre of 8 people on Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon will be brought to justice. Speaking at a media conference in St. Andrew on Monday, he said that the security forces would hunt down the gangsters responsible.
What I have declared here is a total assault on gangs in Jamaica. I want that to be clearly understood. Operationally, they must go after every gang in Jamaica. The gangs that have been identified as being directly responsible for this action are connected with other gangs. And so we must pull the thread to where it leads. So today, every gang leader should take with themselves.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has labeled Sunday's mass murder an act of terrorism and has deployed the Jamaica Defense Force to assist police in tracking down those responsible. He emphasized that the state will hold accountable not only the gunmen, but also anyone else involved in the crime.
Today, I make a similar commitment, and everyone who is involved in this will be brought to justice, in whichever form the justice is visited upon them. We have played with gangs for far too long. We have treated them as if they were Robin Hoods. Communities have been too sympathetic to them. Communities have given them succor and protection. We must use this as the opportunity to draw the line finally in the sand and to separate the gangs from our communities.
Mr. Holness stated that the security forces are working with international partners to track down suspects who may have fled Jamaica. He emphasized that Sunday's attack was intended to spread fear throughout the society.
It is an attack on every Jamaican. It is an attack on every community. The intention was not only to harm the victims, the intention was not only to spread terror in the local community. No, this act is designed to spread terror in the nation. This is an act of terror.
He says such a horrific crime must never again occur in Jamaica.
There is no way that 8 persons can be killed in one incident in Jamaica and the state stands as if nothing happened. No. Every gang member, every gang will feel the full force of the state today. This must never happen again in Jamaica.
The police are theorizing that the killings are a reprisal act for the murder of a woman some time ago. There is a tropical storm titled Ernesto near the French island of Guadeloupe and the Leeward Islands with maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. Miami-based National Hurricane Center, NHC, says gradual strengthening is expected during the next few days. It said in its latest weather bulletin that Ernesto could reach hurricane strength by Thursday over the waters north of the Greater Antilles. The 5th named storm of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season, Ernesto, is located 10 miles southeast of Guadeloupe. Tropical storm warnings are in effect for St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, Guadeloupe, St. Martin and St. Barthélemy, the British Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. If you have chronic medical conditions, it's crucial to have a thorough plan in place for the hurricane season. Here are some tips to keep in mind.
Food, clean water, and medication are among the important things to secure when you're preparing for severe weather conditions, such as a tropical storm or hurricane. Pay attention as we share a few useful tips on these, as well as advice for pregnant women and persons with chronic illnesses. Persons with chronic illnesses such as diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and asthma are reminded to have an adequate supply of medication on hand. If they have to evacuate their homes, they must ensure that they take their medication with them to the place of shelter. They should continue to take their medications as prescribed by the doctor while away from home. Having an igloo with ice for medication needing refrigeration is recommended. Also, persons with chronic illnesses must keep regular eating and medication schedules and ensure they have received adequate nutrition and hydration. If a storm is on the way, medical experts recommend that all pregnant women who are within 1 month of their delivery date should relocate to family or friends who are in close proximity to a hospital or delivery center. If you must evacuate your home when disaster threatens, certain items should be taken with you. Medical supplies, including over-the-counter and prescription medications, dentures, and first aid kit items such as bandages and rubbing alcohol. Also take along basic disaster supplies, including flashlights, batteries, radio, and bottled water. You'll also need clothing and sanitation supplies, such as diapers, toilet tissue, soap, and feminine hygiene products. Keep a bag with supplies for the emergency evacuation from your home. This should include only non-perishable items and special foods like baby formula. And while these are not strictly for health purposes, it's also recommended to travel with important family documents like birth, marriage, death certificates, passports, land titles, and immunization cards, as well as games, books, and other items for your entertainment. With the threat of power outage and water shortage during or following a storm, food safety takes an added importance. Do not store food items with chemicals such as kerosene, bleach, detergents, and insect sprays. Do not purchase food from tins which have signs of dents, bulges, or other damage. Keep food in a dry and cool place. And store sugar, flour, rice, and crackers in their original packages or in tightly closed containers. Lock-offs are likely in a storm. Plus, flood rains can wash sediments into the water supply. So, store water for domestic use in a clean, covered container. Ensure the lid fits tightly to prevent mosquito breeding. Do not use containers that have previously stored harmful chemicals. Use a clean container with a handle to dip up water from storage. Treat the water with bleach or by boiling for safe use. For further information and health advice to prepare for severe weather conditions, please contact the Ministry of Health and Wellness's Emergency Operations Center at 888-1-LOVE, that's 888-663-5683, or visit www.mohw.gov.jm.
In the business report, 4 companies have declared dividends to be paid out to shareholders. Passive income will be coming from the following corporate entities. Sterling Investments Limited has declared a dividend of US 16 per share payable on September 16, 2024. The shareholders on record as at August 26, 2024. The ex-dividend date is August 26, 2024. Jamaica Group Limited has declared a dividend of 125 cents per share payable on September 24, 2024 to shareholders on record as at August 30, 2024. The ex-dividend date is August 30, 2024. Carreras Limited has declared an interim dividend of 25 cents per share payable on September 25, 2024 to shareholders on record as at August 27, 2024. The ex-dividend date is August 27, 2024. Seprod Limited has declared a dividend of 605 cents per share payable on September 6, 2024 to shareholders on record as at August 26, 2024. The ex-dividend date is August 26, 2024. The Jamaica Stock Exchange listed Regency Petroleum Limited is effecting an all-Sunday closure of its island-wide network of service stations. CEO Andrew Williams, in a media statement on Sunday, August 11, indicated that the decision is faith-based. He's quoted saying, while underscoring our respect for this sacred day of rest, end quote. Now, let's take a look at the movements in the foreign exchange market. Denise Williams reports.
During trading for the period August 12, 2024, the following companies represent the top 3 most active stocks that investors bought and sold on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Alternative energy provider Wigton Wind Farm Limited, ordinary shares with 3,503,168 units represent 21.39% of the market trading activity. Educational platform One-on-One Educational Services Limited with 2,855,204 units represented 17.43% of the market trading activity. Beverage distributor Jamaica Teas Limited, with 1,627,098 units, represented 9.94% of market activity. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies on the stock market, we turn to the Forex market. On August 12, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $83.16 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $83.14 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $157.66 and bought US dollars for $156.38. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.28, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $1.57 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $112.87 and bought for $114.44. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $3.17, selling it for $199.22 and buying it for $196.05. For the credit report tip of the day, we continue to look at persons who are over 50 and planning an early retirement, because this is the perfect time to focus on rebuilding your credit and leveraging loans to invest in income-producing assets. Here are two suggestions. First, establish a consistent payment history. Set up automatic payments for all your bills to ensure you never miss a due date. A consistent payment history is a major factor in boosting your credit score. And then consider a secured credit card. If your credit score is low, a secured credit card can help you rebuild it. Use it responsibly by keeping your utilization low and paying the balance in full each month. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed, stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, in Trinidad and Tobago, the acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government clarified that the Cut and Clear initiative aimed at curbing mosquito breeding is to prevent the spread of dengue and was not a cabinet directive but a staff-driven effort.
The initiative, which will be commencing in the Diego Martin and Chaguanas regional corporations, includes the systematic cutting and clearing of overgrown lots and cleaning of local drains. Speaking on TTT's Now Morning Show, Acting Permanent Secretary Peter Mitchell said it was a proactive approach to ensure such breeding sites were eradicated and to assist priority areas.
So they came to me with a proposal in terms of how they can use the resources we have right now, which is the municipal corporation staff on the ground, as well as CPEP company, which is under the Ministry of Rural Development. Now, as permanent secretary, when my staff come with me with bright ideas, the first thing I ask is, how much is it going to cost me?
Naturally.
Right? So Ariel and his team came and together with the change manager, and they said, well, we're just going to mobilize resources because CPEP has already have the employees and so forth. So that's how the initiative came about. So I want to make sure that the public understands it's not something that came up out of a whoops or something. It's a clear methodology in terms of what we're doing in public health, because the ministry is responsible for coordinating public health through the municipal corporation.
And the ministry's operations coordinator, Ariel Saunders, is urging the public to submit areas they believe should be prioritized.
Correct. We started last week at the Penal Debe Regional Corporation and the San Fernando City Corporation. Okay. Roughly 900 workers will be mobilized on each day, managed by the PMO, Project Management Office at Head Office, which will sort of take on a coordinating function, make sure the teams are in the right places. We have asked the municipal corporations to submit lists of areas that they deem necessary for our intervention. We've also asked the public to support us by submitting areas that they think require our attention. And so we are focused right now on overgrown bushes in derelict lots. We are looking at drains that need to be cleaned, particularly, and coming out of the exercise last week, we've realized that there are among us the elderly, those with special needs who may not be able to, I guess, upkeep their premises as they would like.
He said people can submit the information via WhatsApp to 766-4199 with their name, number, and location of the suggested area, or visit any of the regional corporations.
The spotlight was on young people on Monday as Barbados joined other countries around the world to mark International Youth Day. Among the activities was a culture day hosted by the Ministry of Youth at the Colombo Emancipation Village, where Minister Charles Griffith spoke about initiatives for young people.
Government is continuing to shed light on the positive things happening with the island's young people and its ongoing efforts to create opportunities for them. Minister of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment Charles Griffith says the reintroduction of the National Youth Awards is one way the youth of the nation are being celebrated. Mr. Griffith was speaking to CBC at the Emancipation Village, where his ministry held a cultural day for the children from summer camps.
In addition to that, we have several initiatives within the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment to ensure that the majority of our young people who want to be on that positive path, that all the means are in place for that to happen.
Despite heavy showers, scores of children from the ministry's summer camps were treated to a cultural display. They also got the opportunity to showcase art and craft they designed at camp over the last 3 weeks.
Literally hundreds of children are here today, and despite the rain, they're in good spirits. And it is always good to be in an environment where you have something constructive happening for our young people. And all of the youngsters that I spoke with so far today indicated that they're having a fantastic time. The craft that I would have seen when I toured the exhibition is outstanding, and I know it is not the extent of the work that was done at all of the camps this year so far.
International Youth Day is an awareness day designated by the United Nations that takes place on August 12. The purpose of the day, first observed in 2000, is to draw attention to a given set of cultural and legal issues surrounding youth. Ernesto Henry, CBC News.
In Belize, the 5 Cs has entered a strategic partnership with the Caribbean Broadcasting Union to sponsor CBU awards and host regional journalists in climate change workshops. This week, the organization is engaging a group of journalists from across the Caribbean in climate change-related topics ahead of the Caribbean Media Awards. Dr. Young spoke on the importance of this partnership.
The 5 Cs has, based on the research we've done in the region, we have found out that there's a tremendous knowledge gap between those who work in climate change and regular persons on the ground, the farmers, the fisher folks, and those who work in areas that are vulnerable to climate change. And so the events with the CBU, the Caribbean Broadcasting Union, is intended to help bridge that knowledge gap by creating awareness and building awareness of Caribbean public towards climate change. Obviously, the stories and the reporting that you tell are absolutely important in helping to build that knowledge. And whether it's in print, whether it's digital, whether it's TV, whether it's news, it's important that journalists, in order for them to communicate effectively, understand the science of climate change in a way that they can engage audiences in an effective manner.
In sports, we begin with cricket. Johnny Graves' tenure as Chief Executive Officer of Cricket West Indies will come to an end in October 2024, a position he has held since February 2017. CWI made the announcement on Monday, extending its deepest gratitude for his dedicated service and leadership throughout his term. In his reflection, Johnny Graves said, quote, "It has been an absolute privilege to have been CEO of CWI since February 2017, having just hosted a successful T20 World Cup and delivered significant surpluses for CWI for the 3rd consecutive year. I do feel it is the right time for me and my family to seek a new challenge." Cricket West Indies says it will be initiating a comprehensive recruitment process to select the next CEO. The organization is dedicated to ensuring a thorough and transparent selection process. It says details regarding the recruitment process will be announced shortly and will be published across various media platforms to keep stakeholders informed. Turning to football, head coach of the Trinidad and Tobago under-15 football team, Marlon Charles, stated that he's proud of the resilience of his team that they showed in their 3-0 victory over Guatemala.
Following Trinidad and Tobago's third-place finish in the CONCACAF Under-15 Girls Championships, head coach Marlon Charles was in full praise of his players for ending the tournament on a high and spoke about what's next for the team.
All credit to the players. You know, people wouldn't know, but most half of the team was sick. Everybody had the virus, and if you look at the energy, so I had to stay on the line to just keep on encouraging them just to continue to work. So overall, I'm so proud of these young ladies because they could battle when things are not so good. You know, so I'm very, very proud of them. That says a lot. That says that they're all about team. They're all about playing for the country, wanting to play more, wanting to do better. For women's football, I always say so that younger girls can see them play and want to play. What going forward is all about continue to work with the groups that are here. The foreigners, whoever outside will come back when they have holidays, but the team will stay together.
Goal scorer Jada Herbert shared how much it meant to her to score for TNT and mentioned the impact the tournament has had on her.
I feel so good scoring today for my country. I was waiting a long time to score. Like all the other games I play, I was really rushing it, but today it actually come. I want to dedicate this goal to my mother, my sister, and also a little boy who does be close to me, Jasim. I grown like real plenty because this tournament, I don't know how to explain it. Like it helped me reach from here to like here. It gave me real development.
Sure, so get from here to where?
From here to like there. Plenty. I can't wait for next year, CONCACAF. Can't wait. And for under 17. Can't wait at all.
Michaela Guerrero, whose free kick sealed TNT's 3-0 victory, spoke on her footballing journey thus far and how far she believes this team can go.
I want to dedicate the goal to my mom. Oh, my mom, she's my biggest supporter, and without her, I am truly not here because she made a lot of sacrifices for me, you know. Coming from Moruga and training every day is a very battle, and my mom, without her, this wouldn't be. This team, I would like to see us build more. This is just the foundation. We're starting by building. And yeah, we would be the next Trinidad team to make our World Cup.
Adrian Lazar, TTT Sport.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thank you so much for watching.